Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Justin Riley.
And I'm Janet Cresson.
And we are here at the Black Locust Cafe over on East Washington Avenue. The smell of coffee fills the air, and that makes me happy. How about you?
I like it when Justin's happy. It makes my job easier. So this is all good.
Course,
it's all
course.
good. Yeah.
John Reske, who is the owner of Black Locust Cafe and the Rabinia Courtyard family of restaurants, he's got some pretty big news that he's going to share with us at the end of the show today. So we're going to look forward to talking with him. They have 3 restaurants that they have open right now. Julep and Barolo are the other 2, and they're going to talk about an event, shall we say, that's happening on New Year's Eve. So you'll want to stick around for that because there's some pretty big news that if you haven't heard of it yet, you'll want to stick around to hear about.
Later on, though, we're going to be meeting with what is it called? The Clean Lakes Alliance. This sounds like a really great event they have coming up. This is in February, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think.
Yeah, Frozen Assets event. It's where they're actually...
you just wanted to say that.
I just wanted to say Frozen Assets. So they actually are out on Lake Mendota, I believe, and they're having all kinds of activities, including kite flying and things like that, right on the frozen lake. So if you've lived in or around Madison your whole life and you've never been out on the lake when it's been frozen, go to this event. It's a family-friendly event. It goes the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th of February.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing about that.
Yeah.
And just in time for the new year, if New Year's resolutions are including maybe some exercise, Justin.
Hey, what are you saying, Janet?
We're going to be learning more about Pilates.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard about it, but not sure quite what it is.
And you know, Pilates has always been something that you think about Pilates and you think, oh, that's something that women do typically with exercise. But did you know that it was invented by a guy?
I did, actually.
So, guy
and
power
so
out
you'll
there.
learn more too. If you stick around, because they're coming up next.
'Cause every day is a new day.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're on location today at the Black Locust Cafe. This is just a few blocks down from the Capitol on East Washington Avenue. We're going to catch up with the owner a little bit later. But right now, just in time for the new year, we're talking exercise, specifically Pilates. Now, maybe you've heard about it, but don't really know what it is. We've got just the person to help us learn more about it and maybe bust a few myths, too.
Yes.
Joining us today is Haley New. She's a Pilates instructor with Pilates Spa. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, thank you.
So let's start at the very beginning. What is Pilates?
So Pilates is, yes, it's a form of exercise, but it's really a method of learning your body, and you become very aware and you find inner support. And inner support is really both mental and physical. So it brings together mind, body, and spirituality and the whole 9 yards, but its main focus is building your core strength from the inside out. We work on the small internal muscles versus the larger external muscles that you would go to the gym for and whatnot.
Sure.
So
Very interesting, and you know, there's so many different ways, so many different types of exercises, and there's also different ways of, you know, connecting mind, body, and spirit. Why Pilates? What made you choose to go with Pilates, and what has made you stick with Pilates over the years?
Well, what made me choose Pilates was it was just simply suggested to me, and I tried it out. And after the 3rd lesson, I saw a difference in my physique, and I was like, you know, after 3, I was sold. And then there was a time where I stopped and I missed it. My body, everything, missed it. And so I Googled Madison Pilates, and I started right back up when I moved back home to Madison. And I stick with it because I stay tall, I feel strong, I feel good.
Yeah.
You can't buy that.
No, and it's you can't. You have to practice and continue on.
So give some reasons why you think people should try it, practice it.
You should try it if you're in pain, for one. If you're in pain, don't settle for pain. You don't have to be in pain. It's usually because your skeletal system is out of alignment. And what we do is focus on your alignment, and then we allow you to move small movements. And we really focus on the internal core, supporting your skeletal structure. If your skeletal structure is out of alignment, you're going to be hurting, and you can fix it.
And you've probably been practicing that wrong alignment for years.
Yes, yes.
So it's going to take a while, I bet, to undo some of that.
Indeed.
And you know, I'm vaguely familiar with Pilates and the fact that when I go to a department store or something like that, I'll see DVDs saying for $5 for Pilates lessons or whatever. What's the difference between doing Pilates at home with a DVD and doing it with an instructor in a studio?
Sure. At home DVD, fine. That's great if you already have really proper training. Because of that, you just don't want to be hurting yourself, and it's very easy to hurt yourself if you don't have the proper strength. So at the studio, you'll be on Pilates apparatus, you'll work in alignment, and we'll watch you. We'll correct you, we'll cue you, we'll have our hands on you, we'll fix you move you into that proper alignment, and then you'll be moving from there, fixing your improper imbalances, and then you'll start to feel the benefits really fast. And then the apparatus is amazing. You can get extra teacher-assisted stretches. You can feel a lot more resistance and assistance than just you and the mat with nobody helping you.
I had no idea there was an apparatus involved.
Yeah, there's quite a few. He invented, I think it was about 25 different patents in the US here.
Really?
We have the Pilates Reformer, Cadillac, the chair, spine corrector, toe corrector, foot corrector. Yeah, the list goes on.
Yeah.
We're all about,
I don't know. I lived with it this way my whole life, so maybe I don't know. But
I think it's worth mentioning, you mentioned he, and I think a lot of folks might not know what
so-
Pilates really is, or go ahead and tell them.
So Joseph Pilates is who created it. He originally called it contrology because it is. It's finding that control of your whole being. You move from your center, you move in one unit, and you're breathing in one unit. It's beautiful work, and he's the one who invented it. And he was 50 years ahead of himself. It's quite interesting. He wrote 2 books you can pick up, and interesting.
So Pilates was a dude.
Yes.
And I think that might be...
manpower.
Let's talk about some of the myths and misunderstandings. I think one of them is that Pilates is only for women, and here it was created by a guy.
Yeah, and he actually was really focused on men, and in fact, he was a prisoner of war in World War I, and he was working with injured soldiers. He saw them immobile, not moving, so he took the bed springs from other hospital beds and rigged up pulley systems and started to make them move. Anyways, another one of the main misnomers for the Pilates is yoga. It's like yoga, right? And no, it really isn't. I mean, finding the mind, body, and spirit, yes, but we're focused on your internal core strength, and then you move. We don't even let you move until you're in perfect alignment, and then you can move. And it's so we're focused on your strength, your alignment, your skeletal system, supporting that.
Right.
So you're feeling healthy and upright and not slumped down and hurting. And
yeah, I don't want that.
Haley, we're almost out of time. So your studio is called Pilates Spa. And where is it?
It's actually right across the street here. We're pretty much above Festival Foods, so it's a little bit further west from where we are here.
Sure, okay.
And it's mainly on the corner of Livingston and East Wash. That's our main entrance. There's a side door right there.
Alrighty, so people can check you out there, or maybe online as well?
Pilatespa.com.
There you go. Alrighty. Well, this is Haley New. She's with Pilates Spa, and we'll be right back. You're watching Wisconsin Family.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Family. Well, if you missed your morning coffee, you can just step outside for a few minutes to wake up, or you could join us here at the Black Locust Cafe.
I like the second option better.
Well, I don't know if you're like our next guest.
It's good to get outside too. Good to get outside.
Speaking of getting outside, we're talking frozen assets with our next guest. This is Adam Soderstein. Did I say that right?
Soderstein, yeah, you're there.
Soderstein with the Clean Lakes Alliance. Thanks for joining us
thanks
this
for having
morning.
me.
You bet. Let's start at the beginning here. What is the Frozen Assets? Where is it? What is it?
So Frozen Assets is a really big family-friendly festival. It's a free festival, 3 days, February 3rd, 4th, and 5th, on Lake Mendota at the Edgewater. And we have all sorts of great things for families to do. There's sleigh rides. There's going to be a Kites Over Mendota display that's going to be really exciting. There's free hot chocolate, free ice skating. There's some indoor activities for kids. Just a great way to bring families down to the ice and sort of bring the lakes into the equation here in the winter.
What a great community feeling event for Madison.
Yeah, it is. You know, a lot of people tell us, hey, we get out on the lakes in the summer. We boat, we ski, we go to the beaches, maybe we fish from a pier, but you would be surprised how many people here in Madison have never been on a frozen lake. They've lived here their whole lives. They've just never set foot. They see, here you go. There's a lot of people like that. And so this is a great way to sort of say, the lakes are a year-round entity for Madison. They're something we can use really in the winter when they freeze over. They become our biggest park. They're huge spaces that we can use. And this is a way to sort of draw attention to them and let people realize that when they're frozen, we still need to think about them and sort of protect them.
Absolutely, and that's so important to make sure that we're protecting those assets, as you say. So how exactly does frozen assets help the lakes?
Sure, so we have a really great host of sponsors. We have 4 title sponsors: Hovde Properties, Lands End Business Outfitters, C.G. Schmidt Construction, and the Edgewater is our Platinum host sponsor, as well as Spectrum Brands. So those 5 people all together sort of really bring in this even larger group of sponsors who donate to help make this event possible. And so they help donate and put on the events that happen, but then a lot of that money goes back directly into projects that we do that help reduce phosphorus in our lake. And phosphorus, a little math for you here, 1 pound of phosphorus is equal to 500 pounds of algae. So what we're trying to do is divert that phosphorus. We work with the county, we work with other entities to protect the lakes, and so the money we raise goes directly back into helping make clear, clean lakes here in Madison.
And phosphorus is coming from fertilizer runoff and so on?
Well, it comes from a whole host of areas. So it comes from some land runoff, sort of in the northern part of the watershed. But here in the urban area, anything that runs in the streets runs into the lake. So we don't treat our stormwater in Madison. It just goes into the lake. So what happens is like leaves fall and the rainwater will pass through the leaves and take that phosphorus in. So, we're working with plans to keep the leaves out of the street. So anything that we can do to sort of draw attention to how we sort of change what we do a little bit can really help the lakes.
Yeah.
Wow, so this event is not only raising money for those endeavors, but creating awareness as well. Yeah.
It creates endeavors, but it's really just a great family fun event. Mid-February, early February, you're going to have some cabin fever. You're stuck inside the house. This is a great way. Also, Friday the 3rd, no school for Madison School District. So I know parents are going to be looking for things, gosh, what do we do with the kids? Bring them down to the Edgewater. There's going to be just a whole host of activities they can do that'll really keep them excited.
What are some of the new ones?
So a couple of really fun new events. We're actually going to have a lit a fat bike ride Friday night under the light, under the stars on Lake Mendota. We're going to head towards Picnic Point and back, so that'll be really exciting. On Saturday, we're going to have a snowshoe run and an amateur ice fishing derby. So 2 people can a derby, yeah. It's sort of they fish as long as they can in a short amount of time, and then the most fish they have wins, I guess. And then Sunday, the North American Ice Fishing Circuit is actually bringing a professional stop on their tour to Madison. And they're going to have some of the professionals who actually ice fish for a living in these tournaments. They're going to have a tournament right there on Lake Mendota at the Edgewater, and so that'll bring a lot of excitement to the area.
See how it's really done.
Exactly. These are the LeBron Jameses of ice fishing, if you will. These are the heavy hitters. These are the real ice anglers.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this all sounds well and good, provided that the lakes are actually frozen. Do you think there's any chance that they're not going to be frozen?
So if history has told us anything, the lakes always freeze. In the 165 years we've been keeping track here in the state of Wisconsin, Lake Mendota has never not frozen. So that's the good news. The last year it didn't freeze until around January 11th.
Wow.
Median freeze date is December 20th, so we've missed that for Lake Mendota. But provided we kind of take a temperature dive like we usually do in January, it's going to freeze. In the extreme unlikely event it doesn't, there's still plenty of fun things that we'll have. The ice skating will take place at the Edgewater. There's a lot of fun kids activities inside the Edgewater. We'll just bring the kites on land. We'll have the hot chocolate on land. We'll have the s'mores on land. We can still adjust. People will still have a good time, but if I was a gambling man, I would say we really think they're going to freeze.
Okay.
All right, so this is a 3-day event, Lake Mendota, the Edgewater. What else is kind of going on in the periphery?
Sure. So at nighttime, a lot of our sponsors will attend a big nighttime fundraiser, and this has become real popular. This is the 6th year we had this fundraiser event at night at the Edgewater. Tickets are sold out already. It's really sold fast this year. Yeah, we're going to have nearly 800 people at this fundraising event. A great way to sort of engage some of the community leaders and business leaders. But people who want to maybe try to, I can't believe we're talking about 2018 already, but if you wanted to get tickets to the 2018 event, the best way to do is become a friend of Clean Lakes and donate, and you get early access to tickets. So that's just, again, a way to support the lakes and a way to get to that fundraiser. But we think this is going to be a family event all weekend that anybody in Madison or the surrounding area will really want to attend.
So even though we're just about out of time, if people want to attend, they can still attend all these other things.
Oh yes, all day.
All right, and how do they find out where to go?
CleanLakesAlliance.org/frozen-assets, the best way to find all that information.
All righty, thank you. This is Adam Satterston with the Clean Lakes Alliance, and we're Wisconsin Family. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We've been filming here at the Black Locust Cafe over on East Washington Avenue. And the smell of coffee always just perks me up in the morning, so it's always good to come here.
When you walk in the door, it says, there's a little sign that says, pour yourself a cup of ambition.
I love it. Yeah. This is John Reske, owner of Black Locust Cafe and the Rabinia Courtyard family of restaurants. John, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Been seeing a lot of you lately, but we enjoy always having you on the shows. So talk to us a little bit about what's going on. What's new with Rabinia Courtyard?
Well, we've actually got a big update that actually just broke late last night. As far as the public goes, but we are going to be shutting down Rabinia Courtyard temporarily here as we retool some of the spaces here. You know, I've been using the phrase "you ran out of meter money," so to speak. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about how exciting the capital and the energy inflow to this district, the Cap East district, has been. But you know, we're maybe a little early to the game, and we just couldn't make it, so we're obviously opening up the spaces to new tenancy and a new capital infusion here. So I'm really excited about phase 2. Obviously, we're still going through the grieving process with the other places and everything like that. So we're working through it.
But Black Locust is staying open.
Yeah, we're going to keep it open, keep the lights on up front, let the world know that there's still activity in the building, things like that. Obviously, we've got to work through some of the logistics, and this is a good launch pad for that while we retool and back. So
And the other two, Barolo and Julep?
Yeah, so they're going to be closing January 1st, and which will give us a little time for everybody to come in and kind of kiss their places goodbye, their respective places. Obviously, well loved, well regarded by everybody who visited them, and I know that they do very well as standalone concepts on their own. Obviously, there's a lot of noise, a lot of movement as it related with the 3-restaurant concept here and the shared kitchen and things like that. So, still trying to work through all of that But yeah, so they'll be open for a little bit here. We're going to have a blowout New Year's party. It should be a lot of fun. And obviously, Julep's doing the prefix menu again, and then they'll be joining the DJs over in the other entities later on in the evening. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
So are you hoping that other restaurants will move in there, or other?
We're looking at all options right now. So it might be like a sublease, a new lease kind of concept with those with the respective spaces, or we might maybe pull it in-house, recapitalize, and see if there's enough interest to do a new concept in there. We haven't ruled anything out yet at this point. So
I sure loved your idea of having the 3 different types of restaurants: the cafe, the wine bar, and then it's Julep, the restaurant, all sharing the courtyard too. Loved that idea.
Right, and it is, and so that idea will remain whatever happens moving forward. Obviously, the themes will not be overlapping. The hours of operation will be as separated as possible, again, to maximize the use of the courtyard. So the concept's not going anywhere. We're just going to find a new path forward, basically. So.
And are you thinking that Rabinia is going to venture outside of the restaurant industry at all, to other locations or anything like that?
No, not at all. I think this is kind of a one-off concept here. Again, what I like to do is adaptive reuse projects, which is obviously very unique to the space that was given to you. And again, you kind of tap into the historic significance of whatever building you're working with. And so yeah, as a concept, I don't think that's going to be replicated anywhere else. There might be another outdoor space opportunity that might be labeled something else, but everybody loves this concept. I can see it being redone in some other form or fashion. Probably not by myself, but yeah, it's a good concept.
What are you seeing for yourself?
Well, I'm actually, once we plow forward here in the next few months with the next concept, the next phase, I would love to be part of that, but also kind of regain focus on the real estate side of things too.
That's your forte, is the real estate.
I'd like to think it is. I forget what my forte is.
You do so much here, though. You're behind the counter, you're serving customers, and then you're coming and doing this TV show, so all those things. So, we talked a lot about, or a little bit, to full disclosure to our viewers, John just told us about this right before we started filming. We just found out this morning. So we talked a little bit about phase 2. What phase 2, you're excited for phase 2. This is a positive change as you see it. So what are you what are you hoping for phase 2 of Rabinia?
Well, look, at the end of the day, it's also, I'm still going through, I don't want to sound overly positive too, because there's still, we're still, again, going through the process of closing, and we were a family here for not just the 14 months we were open, but the 2 years prior to that as we put this whole plan together.
That's
so
a good point.
3.5 years of working on this project. It's I haven't completely flipped over, but at the same time, you have to stay positive, you have to drive forward, you have to keep looking at the horizon, because all of this was not done for nothing, right? And you have to keep moving forward with that in mind. And so, as far as the future goes, I don't know. I do know that whatever happens, it's going to be extremely complimentary. It's going to be extremely beneficial to the Cap East District, to Rabinia Courtyard, and obviously all boats will rise with that rising tide. So,
do you think that we'll start to see more businesses that have this type of concept with a shared space between several different restaurants open up? I mean, do you think that you're a trendsetter?
I'm not. I'm going to go with no. I'm probably not a trendsetter, and I encourage them to come out and talk to me beforehand. But again, there were a lot of moving parts. I'd say if it was like one owner, maybe, and you could take control of everything. And obviously, I like the concept. It was very democratic. It was very, it was very unique in that sense, and it could still work again. But you couple that with the market timing, you couple that with a new restaurant opening up every week in the city of Madison right now, and you just have no idea where you stand as it relates to popularity, because everybody's going to check out that new restaurant. We barely got a chance to breathe and kind of settle in and see exactly where we stood. So, there were so many moving parts to this story and so much noise. It's really hard to just single out one variable and say that was it, and this is how much it affected us.
So when is your last hurrah? Tell us when that is again.
It is New Year's blowout party. We're going to be partying until New Year's Eve. Okay. And thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
But we're going to be partying till 9, 10 in the morning. I'm probably lying about that, but we'll be open till bar time at least.
Anything in particular you want to say to the folks that did patronize your place?
Well, no. Obviously, we appreciate everybody who's come down, and we've had nothing but great words for the concept, the individual spaces. Everybody loves them. Excited to see everybody's face one more time before we kind of shudder for a moment and see what happens next. So, and then I encourage everybody to come out and check it once we launch phase 2. So.
How can they find out what's next once you're closed down?
Well, social media. I mean, follow us on Facebook. The Rabinia Courtyard page is not going anywhere. Black Locust Cafe's page is not going anywhere in the short term. So, follow us on that. I'd say, and then obviously, you guys will help us get the word out, and I'm sure other forms of media will help us get the word out as well. And so,
we haven't seen the last of John Reske here on Wisconsin's 57, but thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I will. Right back at you.
And same thing to all of our viewers out there. Thank you so much for watching. That's all the time we have. We'll see you next time.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the